scenario by having the abortion. So that experience was traumatic. And then the entire abortion process was traumatic because of what the people were saying to you and about you. I didn't even know you were 11. This is my first time finding out. You know, you never told me. I knew there was a situation that occurred prior to my birth, but I did not know you were so young. I thought you were probably 14. I didn't know you were 11 years old.
Actually, it happened when I was 10 and I turned 11 and was sent home at 11.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, when I was sent home in September, I was 11 years old when the abortion came. But when it first happened, I was 10.
So how far along were you?
It was like 3 months. The first trimester. That's why they was able to do it in New York.
Wow, that's something.
I was 10 going on 11.
So did you know you were pregnant?
No, and all I know is my cycle didn't come, and I came home and I told my mother I didn't get it.
Okay.
She's like, "What you mean you didn't get it?" I said, "I didn't get my period.
So
I don't know why."
And you had no idea what was going on.
No.
You didn't even understand the perspective of, or the fact that when you missed your period because of that encounter, it made you pregnant.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
Wow. The importance of educating our children in regards to their cycles, in regards to their bodies, in regards to menstruation, and even in educating our boys. We have to educate our children in regards to how our body functions and reproduces in order for them to know when there is a trigger in their body to let them know something is not right.
Yeah, but if they don't discuss it, just like when I got my cycle for the first time, I was sitting on the floor on the rug. The rug had a spot on it. And I'm like, Ma, it's something on the rug. She came to the rug, looked, she like wiped it up. Oh, that's just normal. And that's all was said. Give me a pad, use that. You gotta change it.
Wow. How old were you?
I was 9.
Wow.
Going on 10.
So literally right after your cycle started, then you automatically went into this process of trauma and being raped.
Yeah, because we went away to my aunt's house.
Wow.
A family member did it.
Wow. This has been amazing. Just sitting here talking to you and getting this information, learning about your experiences and what led you to addictions. And I think you're incredibly strong. You're stronger than what you think you are. You are absolutely amazing. When I was a child, I didn't understand your strength. When I was a child, I didn't understand your experiences. But when I became an adult and I had my own children and I started to learn more about myself, then that's when I was able to understand your strength. I get my strength from you. And getting my strength from you, I know I'm not as strong as you are. I don't know if I would have been able to go through all of those experiences and still be here. The fact that you're still here on earth and you didn't allow it to completely take you out is amazing.
It's God. God has nothing to do with me. It has a lot to do with Him and His will. And His will is for me to live, not die. And my story has to be told.
Yes, it does.
And it's something that He allowed me to live through so that I can be able to tell somebody else that's living through it, my story, my testimony, and to be able to give them encouragement and let them know that if I live through it, you can live through it. And it can everything can pass. You can get through anything in this world, as long as you live through it. And that's the most important thing. It's like a lot of people think, how can you do it? You just gotta be patient, trust God, and believe. And you gotta have faith in something other than yourself. And if you got a power greater than yourself, take that power greater than yourself and hold it so that you can get through it, because that's the only thing that got me through, a power greater than myself, because it had nothing to do with me, because I would be crazy out of my mind if it was just me. But it was God too, because without Him I would have no strength, no hope, no faith, no nothing. And hope without faith is like without works, and you gotta work it in order to live.
That's the part that you did do. You did work. You still working every day. Life is not perfect. Life is not the way that we want it to be. But the fact that you're here, the fact that you can see your grandchildren here, the fact that you can interact with me and your other children, you can interact with your grandchildren, that's a miracle all in its own self.
Yeah, because I want better for them. I don't want them to see the grandma that their parents saw, the mom. I'm not that same person.
Right.
I'm different in a lot of ways because I'm older, for one, in I see another generation, and I want that generation to be better than me and my next generation and that generation, to raise up warriors to go out here to explain that this world is lacking the most important thing of this world. The strongest gift that he gave this world is the least gift that's used in this world, and that gift is love.
And it's free.
And it's free. And a lot of people think that they have to buy it, and it's nothing you can buy. It's something that's so freely given.
Yep.
So freely given, but yet so least used.
It's true.
We least use it because we don't even know that it's the most strongest and powerful gift in the world.
Yeah.
I remember a lady told me that she knows that her children love her. She said, but I don't think my children love me as much as your children love you. And I couldn't understand that. And she said that to me. And I thought that this lady had more love than anybody else in this world. And when she said that to me, it made me feel good inside my heart, because if that's what she saw in me, is love, and she saw that my children love me no matter what, then I must have done what God wanted me to do, the gift of love, because that's something that is so freely given to this whole world, and it's the strongest gift that this world has, but it's the least gift that this world uses.
It's true.
Because the world is food. Because if you say you love somebody and show somebody you love, they think that's your weakness. But that's not your weakness. That's your strength. Because that's what kept me through all those years I went through, the things I went through, even in my addiction. I knew no matter what, I had loved my children and my children loved me. And that's what helped me grow to be a better person.
Wow, I never knew that.
Love was the key that I knew was the only thing I was lacking in my life. And I made it the strongest thing in my life.
You have it for sure now.
Yeah, that's the strongest thing I know. And I love him till God take me home. I'm going to love till that day comes. Even after that day, I know I still will be loved, because you love more when you're gone than when you're here. Because when you're here, people don't say it as much. But when you leave, they tell them all the time, I love you, but you can't hear it.
Yeah.
You can't hear that.
Yeah.
When I'm gone, when my eyes close, I won't hear no one saying they're loving me. But as long as I'm here, I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell you I love you. And that's for all the listeners that's out here and all the people that's hurting and need healing. And if nobody told you today, I love you. And I love you, and I love you, and God loves you, and you love yourself, because it starts with you. And if you don't love yourself, how do you expect love to grow? That's where it grows from you loving yourself first. And that's what helped me to know better for me. It's loving me so this world can love me. And before it's over, this world gonna know me as love, not just Linda. To know me is to love me, and to love me is to know me.
How ironic is that? So just for you all to know, my mom, I haven't really shared as much of the podcast with my mom. Like, I share with her what I'm doing, but I haven't gone into specific details in what I do in the podcast. And whoever's listening, you're listening for a specific reason, because for my mom to just say she changed her name to Love, and remember, when you first heard my first episode, I said I changed my name to Nikki. You have to figure out what you are or who you are. And sometimes what you're born as, whatever name you're called when you're born, doesn't necessarily mean that's who you are.
No.
So you have to find out who you are within yourself and change your name and your mind and your spirit to who you should be. And I love the fact that you chose Love as your name.
Yes.
And Linda in Spanish means beautiful or pretty, but that doesn't necessarily mean who you are.
No.
But inside, your love. And you have shown me, even in your addictions, when I was a kid, I didn't understand what was going on and why you were there and why you went through the things you went through. Why I wouldn't see you for days and weeks and months. I didn't understand. You were struggling with love yourself. So you couldn't love me.
Nope.
Because you didn't know how to love.
I only did what I thought was best.
Right.
And what I thought was best wasn't always the right choices or the right things that should have been. But I'm grateful to God today for those choices that I made then so that I can know the difference today.
Right.
Because back then, I thought that was correct.
Yeah.
And now I see I made a lot of wrong choices.
It's okay.
And I was a kid.
You didn't know.
I did what kids do.
Right, right.
But as an adult, you do what an adult does. And if you're wrong, you make a correction.
Right, right.
And you make it better.
Yeah.
You see I done something, you admit to what you done, and you change to making it better.
Accountability.
Yes. And I accept the things I cannot. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And until you learn the difference in those things and what it really means, you can't grow. You can't heal.
Right.
You can't do better. You can't make things right because you got to be honest with yourself.
Yes, that's the first start. Being honest with yourself.
With yourself. I don't care how many people you try to do things for, and until you do it for yourself, it's not going to matter.
That's true.
I went to programs for this different reasons, for that person, for this person. But I seek it for myself today. I seek what I need from me. Not for what man need me to do. It's for what I need because on a daily basis, I got to tell myself, I am loved. I love you. I look in the mirror and I tell myself, you are loved. I love you. If nobody else loves you, I love you. Because it starts with me.
Right.
Because if I don't love myself, I can't love nobody.
Yeah.
And in the morning, when I wake up, and I thank God for being woke, because those are two gifts He give me every morning when I wake up. My two eyes that wake up, that's a gift.
Yeah.
People think you take that for, even including me, I took it for granted many days that I wake myself up or I'm just here. It's here because of a reason. That's because God's grace and His mercy is why I'm here. God's grace and His mercy is why I'm here today to be able to say anything, to give anybody an encouraging word, to telling them it gets better. Just live a little longer. You gotta just take time and live.
And be patient with yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Learn to be kind to yourself. If you're not kind to yourself,
can't be kind to others.
Yeah. And you can't expect other people to be kind to you either.
Nope.
Because your energy attracts people to you.
Yeah, negative attract negative.
Right.
And positive attract positive.
Right.
And at one point, I didn't believe that. But when I started being more pleasant to myself as well as others, I find that people were more pleasant to me.
Yeah. And then, we're our own worst critic. We are the ones who beat ourselves up the most. And we have to learn how to reinforce the positivity inside ourselves. We have to reinforce the kindness to ourselves. Because if we don't, then that negative will completely overwhelm you.
Yeah, I've been just thankful every day that I wake up. And it's just to brush my teeth, just to wash my hands, just to have a glass of water. I'm grateful today for those little bitty things. And people take those things for granted.
Yeah.
Every single day just to get up or to be able to walk. When I was unable to walk, it's how I became more grateful to walk.
Right, right.
And until you lose it, you don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
And now I'm more appreciative to a lot more things in life because I came a long way. And to be homeless and you're not on drugs is something that woke me up to realizing homelessness does not mean because you're on drugs, you have to be homeless. People become homeless because they can't afford to live. And if you can't afford to live, it can cause you to be homeless. And it doesn't mean you have to be a junkie to be homeless. It's just the cost of living is so high. And you could be